Today I'm going to share a quick and easy cake recipe with you. It's the perfect sort of dessert to take along with you when you go to, summer's coming up, you think about decorations and homecomings and family reunions, any kind of general potluck. It travels very well, so it's perfect for one of those take along things. It's also pretty quick to make, so since it is quick to make, it's also good for those last minute company when you have company coming over that you didn't know was coming, or maybe you just want something sweet for your family. This may be a recipe that you're already familiar with. I was not familiar with it until several years ago at work. A lady I worked with, she told me about it, and she brought some to work, and we all got to try it, and it was really good. And then she said, "You won't believe how easy it is. It is super easy to make it." So of course I got the recipe, and I've been making it ever since. Now it's one of those cake box recipes, so you can start with a cake box, a box of cake mix. But for folks that don't want to do that, or people that live in other countries have sometimes told me those kind of pre-packaged cake mixes are not readily available, you could certainly make up your favorite yellow or white cake batter and just start from there and then continue the recipe, and it would work very well. So the ingredients that you need to make the cake, and she just called it a cinnamon cake. Cinnamon cake. It has a lot of cinnamon in it. So it's you either need a box of yellow or white cake mix, or if you prefer to make your own or it's not available where you're at, make up a basic cake recipe, just a basic cake recipe. Then you'll need 4 eggs, 3/4 cup of vegetable oil, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 cup of sour cream, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, 2 cups of powdered sugar, 3 tablespoons of milk. Now sometimes I don't use that whole amount of powdered sugar in the milk. That's kind of the icing. That's the last step that you do, the frosting or icing, whatever you want to call it. But I don't like it that much. I like the cake better than that. So sometimes I just do 1 cup of powdered sugar and then enough milk, maybe a tablespoon and a half of milk to kind of make it really thin so that it's easily spread. If you use that whole amount, it puts a pretty thick icing on top, and that's perfect though if that's how you like it, and that's certainly how my friend made it that gave me the recipe, and I've eaten it like that a lot and it's very good. But sometimes I back up on that, so that's just personal preference there. So once we've got it all mixed up, we're going to bake it at 325, and you're going to want to use a 9 by 13 pan. You could use other types of pans, I'm sure, and make it work, but that's what the original recipe, what she baked hers in, my friend, and so that's what I use. I've just got a glass one that I've already got greased, and now I'm going to show you how easy it is to put it all together. So the first part of mixing the batter couldn't be easier. I have my cake mix in, and I'm going to add my oil, all 4 of my eggs, the vanilla, and the sour cream. And then I'm going to let that mix for 2 minutes. Okay, that was so easy. I got the batter all mixed up. I've got it right here. Now to the next step. I'm going to take our cup of brown sugar, put it in one of my bowls, and the tablespoon of cinnamon. I'm just going to use a fork to kind of mix it together good. Okay, now that I've got that mixed, I'm going to bring my buttered dish over and put my batter in it. Just going to kind of even it up in the pan. And then I'm going to take the cinnamon brown sugar mixture and just sprinkle it all over the top. Cinnamon smells so good. You can really smell it. Now that I've got it layered on top, I'm going to take a knife, what I call a case knife, you may call it a butter knife or a silverware knife or whatever, and just kind of swirl through the cake. So that just allows for the brown sugar and the cinnamon to really kind of get down in the batter, and kind of the batter will cook up over top of it, and it'll just be delicious. So now we're ready to put it in the oven, and we're going to bake it at 325 for about 35 to 40 minutes. It may be different in your oven, so you'll just have to keep a check on it the first time you make it to see how long it takes in your oven. And then once it's out, we'll add that wonderful powdered sugar icing to it. So I got the cake out of the oven, and I've let it cool about 10 to 15 minutes. You need to do that before you actually pour the icing on it. So I've got my powdered sugar here, and as I said, the recipe said to use 2 cups. I'm not going to use that much at first, and then I might add more. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to use about a cup. And then I'm just going to pour enough milk in it to kind of moisten it. I've added too much milk. Maybe adding more powdered sugar whether I want to or not. Okay, you can see it's pretty thin, and now I'm just going to drizzle it over top of the cake. Have to get one of my spatulas to get the rest of it out. That's what I was hunting. No. I was using it, so.
What red is it?
My red spatula, a little one.
Did you put it there?
I don't think so.
Or we ripped off of it? I didn't. No, this is a big one. Oh, right there, Mama.
Oh gosh, okay. I was looking everywhere for my red spatula. Of course, it was right here beside me. That's what usually happens to me. I was like, what in the world? What did I do with it? So you can see as I drizzle it that if I had the other cup, how it would kind of completely cover it. But for me, that's just a little much. But you can certainly go by the recipe and use it all. Such a tasty cake, and so easy to make too. Okay, now you know I've got to taste it. I can't wait. Got to have me some and see what it tastes like.
I don't know.
Okay. Get me a piece here. You can see the cake part, but you can also see kind of how the brown sugar causes it to just be so moist in there. Kind of reminiscent of maybe a honey bun, if you like honey buns. Very good. Very sweet. The cake is so sweet with all that brown sugar. That's why I don't think it needs all that icing, but you might like all that. You might like the icing part the best. Or I like the cake part the best. And the brown sugar and the cinnamon kind of, because you swirl it around, seep down into the cake. So all the way through. Really, you could put no icing on it and it would still be really good. I think you could add some nuts of whatever your favorite kind of nuts, pecans or almonds or whatever to it, and that would be good. And it is so rich. And it goes perfectly with a glass of milk. So I've got me some milk here. Also very good with a cup of coffee. So in the description below, I will put the link to the recipe so you can jump over there and jot down all the ingredients if you want to make it. But I hope you enjoyed seeing how to make it. It is so easy and so tasty. Travels well. So as we're coming up on summer, as I said, it's just the perfect thing to take to potlucks, to homecomings, decoration day at church, or even just your community potluck, wherever it is that you're going. Or serve it to your family. So as always, I hope that you continue to drop back by and help me celebrate Appalachia, which includes a lot of Appalachian foodways, which means the foods that I cook for my family living here in the mountains of Appalachia.